Hello, I'm Dr. Steph, and I'm here to teach you stuff and things about language. I'm sure you've all asked yourselves this question at some point. Is my red the same as your red? Do you see the same thing that I'm seeing? Well, it turns out almost every person who's ever lived has also asked themselves this question. But what this means is for many centuries, we've had neuroscientists, philosophers, psychologists, all kinds of people approaching this problem from different perspectives. So we know a lot more about language and color than you might think. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how language may be affecting the way you see colors. We have two layers here. We have the label and we have the color. The label can change. We can call this blue, we can call it azul, we can call it blau, we could call it jingly jangly. It doesn't matter. Some languages even carve up things like blue into more distinct categories, like Russian, which distinguishes light blue from dark blue. Other languages group categories like green and blue into one category, one mega category. We have basic color terms like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, but we also have secondary color labels like chartreuse, laguna, pink, bumblebee, flamingo, gingerbread, gingerbread. However, that label is not the color itself. Color is the result of different wavelengths of light flying into your eyeball and hitting the back part called the retina. The collision between your body and the wavelengths of light are what start to begin your sensation of color. I'm sensing a color. Is it red? Or is it pink? From your retina, your brain does many complex things along the way to turn a wavelength of light into a color that you perceive. What's interesting is there's nothing there in the wavelength to tell you where those color categories should go. There's nothing to say that this is blue and this is green. And yet many people across the world do this in very similar ways. Color is just like relative, man. It's not something outside of me. It's not something just inside of me. It needs both. It's not a physical, objective truth. Now, back to language. There's good evidence that the language you grow up speaking can change the way you perceive colors. But this can also happen into adulthood. So in one experiment, they showed that color categories could be created. In this experiment, they present two colors, one right after the other. So they'd see this, and then they'd see this. And the participant was asked to press a key that indicates whether they're the same or whether they're different. And then they do this many, many hundreds of times. Same, different, same, different, different, same, different, same, different, same, different, 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 same, different, same, different, same. In another experiment, they had participants do the same kind of task, same, different, but this time they looked at what their brains were doing. What they found is when people are doing this task, they're not asked to say anything, they're not asked to label these, just same, different. But what happens is the language areas of the brain light up. So it seems that even when you're not asked to label a color, you can't help but put that in the context of some kind of language. However, this is just a correlation. It could be that that brain area just lights up for fun when you're doing this kind of task. However, there's many other studies now that support the idea that the language you speak is changing, at least a little bit, the way you perceive color. But despite us having different languages, we do seem to label colors fairly similarly. In one study, they looked at 110 different languages and about 25 people from each of those languages. And they asked them to sort little color paint chips into similar piles. So they made a pile of reds, they made a pile of blues, they made a pile of yellows in some cases. And it turns out that across these 110 languages, there are some very strong similarities. So even if our perception is a little bit different, it is similar enough that we tend to label them similarly, regardless of the language. Now, groundbreaking work by Daniel Everett. He wrote a book called Don't Sleep, There Are Snakes. It's a very good book. I highly recommend it. And in his book, he describes many of the ways that they speak, differences in culture, and differences in the kinds of words they use. One of the things he found is that they do not have actual labels for colors. You heard me right. There are no color labels. There is no red, there's no pink, there's no white, there's no black. What they do have are terms for light and dark. And they describe color in terms of what it looks like. So brown might be, it looks like a tree. So this is an interesting and very different kind of case study, but it underscores that human behavior and the way that we process information can be very different, especially when our language is different. So my point is, it's been shown in a lot of different ways. Your brain is a highly interconnected, interactive, complex network. So it's not so difficult to imagine that language areas of the brain and the labels we use might sneak over and change the way we see color, if even only just a little bit. So is my red the same as your red? We don't know. But it is likely the language you speak, the culture you grow up in, and your unique brain connections all contribute to you seeing color at least a little differently than I see color. It would be impossible for two brains to be wired in the exact same way. So how could I possibly see red the same way you see red? So in Dr. Steph's opinion, no, none of us see the same colors, but they're similar enough that we can label them similarly, so we can communicate about them, and occasionally passionately fight about them. Unless you've never been on the internet, you know what this is. Are you on team blue-black or are you on team white-gold? Let me know. White gold forever. Thank you for watching my video on language and how it affects your color perception. I'm Dr. Steph, and everything is amazing. Hi. Oh, hello. Hello. What happened? Like pink and flamingo and bumblebee or chartreuse or even flamingo. Fun ones like flamingo or chartreuse. Even ones like flamingo or bumblebee or a laguna. Things like flamingo or chartreuse. Even flamingo or bumblebee. Bumblebee, bumblebee. Bumble, bumblebee. Bumble, bumblebee. Bumble, bumblebee. Bumble, bumblebee. Fly into your Daniel Everett. He went to a tribe in the Amazonian struggle? Interactive network of brain stuff. What am I saying? Complex network that does what? Brain stuff. Same, same, different, different, same, same, different, different, same, different, same, different, same, different, same, different, same, different, same. Is my red the same as your red? We don't know. Wait, no, my microphone's over here. Okay. I'm Dr. Steph.